Cynful cottage casserole. This is what you'll need for the recipe, and there is a link to a printable recipe in the video description. Start out with beef stock with a little bit of Worcestershire sauce in it, and our rice with salt and pepper in it. You're going to stir that around and cover it. Bring it to a boil. Don't lift the cover, just wait for the steam to come out. We go ahead while that's cooking and chop our onions and potatoes, as well as our garlic. We're going to make them about that size, about 1/4 inch thick. We want them to cook while we're frying them in the pan. We're going to add some water to the potatoes with a little bit of baking soda. What that's going to do is it's going to draw out the starches, and the baking soda will help make it crisp for you. That's a little secret. Again, this is our garlic. We're going to mince the garlic. It's a rough mince. It doesn't have to be very fine. And once we've cooked the rice for 20 minutes, we're going to open the top and fluff it. Next thing we're going to do is drain the potatoes and go ahead and dry them a little bit. We don't want them wet. We don't want them to steam. We want them to crisp. So I'm using a paper towel. Starting with our ground beef, and we're going to cook that down until it's fully browned, and we'll drain off the fat. Once the fat's drained off, we're going to add these vegetables. They're frozen mixed vegetables, basically corn, peas, and carrots, but any frozen mixed vegetable will work. Add that to the ground beef and stir it in, and we're going to cook it just enough to where the vegetables start to defrost. Now I'm using a Heinz Homestyle pre-made gravy in a jar. I just added in. This makes it a whole lot simpler. I mean, you can make your own gravy if you'd like, but I just do this with this one because it's really simple. Stir that gravy in and let it cook until the vegetables have defrosted. Now we're going to put this in a bowl off to the side and basically just set it aside here for a little bit. We're going to clean our pan out completely, and then we're going to toast the thyme. We're doing that to bring the oils out, and then add the avocado oil, and now we're going to bloom the thyme. So basically what we're doing is we're flavoring the oil. That's the main goal here. And we're going to add the onions again. This is an aromatic. It's going to flavor that oil. We want that oil flavored so that it flavors the potatoes. Now we've added the garlic, another 30 seconds, just enough to get the smell to come out. Now we're removing the aromatics, the onions and the garlic, from the pan and putting it in with the meat mixture. Just sit it on top. Now I felt like I needed a little bit more oil, so I added some butter, again flavoring that oil, and then went ahead and added those dried potatoes. So we're just going to cook those. We're going to let them get happy, get to know each other, the heat on the bottom to get to know the potatoes, and basically we're having a high school dance here. We're going to brown both sides and then remove the potatoes. Again, that oil is still flavored. We want to get leave most of the oil in the pan when we pull the potatoes out. And we're going to put the rice on top, and we're going to cook that rice because we want a nice crunchy bottom. So you're going to cook it until you kind of get a crunchy bottom on that, and then add the meat mixture that you stirred the potatoes and onions into on top. So just spread it out evenly on top, and then we're going to stick it in the oven. We've got it in a 350-degree oven. I've cooked it here for about 25 minutes, or until my temperature reached 165 internal in the center. Topped it with some cheese. And we're going to put it back in the oven for about 15 minutes to melt the cheese. And while that's happening, I'm going ahead and chop up some parsley. That's the pretty. We're going to put the parsley on top of all of that. And it's done. I used a pie server just to serve it up. You don't have to, just a spoon will work. But serve it right into a bowl. Super duper yummy. And there it is. Very simple recipe, very easy to do, and something other than a shepherd's pie. I'd like to thank you for joining me in my kitchen for this cottage casserole today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It will really help me out in the algorithms. And as always, have a blessed day.